Hey, happy Friday the 13th in Australia time. I did some Friday the 13th makeup today, and so far everyone's like, did you do that? And I think they think that it's like a stick-on tattoo or something, but I just did this little black widow spider under my eye, and it's got actual like webbing, and then on this eye I did some bats just taking off into the night. And yeah, and I was gonna try to incorporate this cool feather in somehow, but every time I tried to put it in my hair, it looked really stupid. So I was like, I'm just gonna pin it to my shirt. And it's like, if anyone asks about it, I'll be like, oh, Edgar Allan Poe. Quoth the Raven. Yes, nevermore. And I don't know if you can see it because I'm in the car, so it's really awkward, but I got my cool Snow White zombie shirt. And let's just say, a few people have come into the building today and gone, hi, I have a meeting here, and I'm just like, okay, I'll let them know. And I seem like way too upbeat to be wearing like creepy spiders on my face and stuff, and so I think it's getting a couple of people off guard. I've been really looking forward to Friday the 13th because, like, usually I'm kind of like, oh, hey, it's Friday the 13th, but then today it was more like, oh, it's gonna be Friday the 13th soon. It's gonna be Friday the 13th soon. Mainly because the movie Insidious 2 is supposed to come out Friday the 13th. And so I've been like really looking forward to it because I loved The Conjuring and I loved the first Insidious movie. And so the sequel, obviously, because I was just like, oh, what happened? Like at the end of the first one, you're just like, but what actually happens? Because it leaves you on kind of a cliffhanger. So I was really happy they made a sequel. And thank you, Australia. Apparently they don't actually have it here. And I think that's because apparently Australians don't like horror movies. Like in America, they'll have so many horror things and everything. And then when Mama came out, I asked them, why do you only have it on at 9:30 at night for like 1 week? And yet, like, this other thing gets to be on for like 2 months at like 7 times a day. And they're like, oh, well, Australian audiences don't really go to see horror, so we don't see the point in putting it out. And I'm just sitting there like, I like horror, and now because you don't show it, I have to wait for the rest of the world to have it on Blu-ray. And that's gonna be like at least 5 months. And it kind of sucks because then there's gonna be all these videos about like, oh my god, the back things of Insidious 2, and all these people talking about it and spoiling it. And it kind of sucks. Like, Australia gets everything late, whether it be music or movies or fashion, anything. They'll just, like, a year later, they'll be like, oh, did you hear? And everyone else in the world will be like, yeah, I heard that, like, 3 years ago. And, yeah, like, I got disappointed about the same kind of thing, like, a couple of weeks ago, because I'm really looking forward to the movie Don John by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Like, he wrote it, he directed it, he's in it. And I've been really, really pumped waiting for that to come out. And then I decided one day I would look through the, like, what's coming out this year kind of list. And it's nowhere to be seen. It's not even in next year. And then now they're going around on this big tour around, like, the North America. And, like, they're doing premieres and everything. And so everyone's getting really pumped for it. And I really want to see it. And I'm not going to get to see it again until like 4 months down the track when it's out on Blu-ray. Sorry, I thought something stabbed my elbow and I was like, what is it? But it was just my elbow. But yeah, so I really want to see all these things, and then just because I live in ass end of nowhere, I don't get to see them. So that's why I'm looking forward to going to Canada in February, because then I can see things and hear things like way before they even like exist in Australia. And I'm really excited for that. And plus, last time I was there, I got to see like all, like the Spider-Man movie, and I got to see like so many movies like Ted and Snow White and the Huntsman, and I don't know, we saw like 20 movies or something. And then I came back to Australia and everyone's like, oh, I want to see this. I'm like, I saw it already, but okay. And yeah, everyone's like, how did you see it already? It comes out on Thursday. And I'm like, I saw it in Canada. They're like, oh, okay, that explains it. But yeah. So, disappointed. Yes. Yes, I am. But no, like, everyone's reactions to my makeup today just makes me all the more excited for Halloween and Day of the Dead. Because last year, I know, I kind of had, like, a really bad, moody, bipolar low day on Halloween. And so I decided not to do any of the things I was gonna do. And I just kind of drew, like, you know, the stitches on my face and wore a big fluffy black hat. And that's all I did, because I was having a bad day and I was like, I don't want to do any makeup because everything I do is just going to be judged and look stupid. But then this year I've actually, like, bought things online and I bought, like, contact lenses and I've got, like, plans and I'm, like, watching so many makeup tutorials and I'm actually going to get up early and do my makeup. And I did this at work. I didn't get up early to do this. It only took 5 minutes. And I'm going to get up early, I'm going to do my makeup, and then for Day of the Dead, I'm going to try to do full skull face makeup, and wear, like, my Day of the Dead, purple skull, like, necklace kind of thing. I hate saying beads. Like, wear my skull beads. It sounds wrong and sexual and stuff. But, yeah, so I'm going to wear my Day of the Dead stuff, and hopefully it all looks good. And because I don't really have anything else Mexican, and it's going to be getting pretty hot, so I won't be able to wear, like, dark things for too long. Like, I'm going to have to crank the aircon in the office when it gets to Halloween, because I'm going to be wearing a corset and a blouse and a skirt and maybe some stockings and then some cool shoes or boots. And I might wear my hair extensions or a wig. I haven't quite decided that yet, because I suck at doing my hair. So maybe if I get a wig and then I put it on, like, a foam head kind of thing, like wig holder, and then I do the hair on that and then I put it on, that will look good. But if I try to do, like, my actual hair, I can do, like, this bit and then, like, this bit's just like so if anyone, like, you know, gets a 360 on Halloween, then I'd look like poo. So yeah, no, it's hard to come up with costume ideas in this country because they don't celebrate Halloween, really. Like, a couple of years ago, I dressed up and I went over to this person's house and they had, like, a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, and they were like, why are you in costume? And I'm like, it's Halloween. Like, why aren't you in costume? Like, what's wrong with you? And because I've lived in, like, England and Ireland and Canada, and, like, we all celebrate Halloween, and we celebrate Christmas properly in the cold. But we celebrate Halloween in those countries, and I've just grown up with costumes and trick-or-treating, and it's slowly taking hold here for, like, you know, little, like, minions. But for people my age, it's just, like, everyone's like, oh, well, that's just another day. That's a stupid American tradition. It's like, actually, it's really not. And, like, you can tell them, like, what it is, what it's really about, and they still won't care. They'll be like, yeah, it's American tradition. But, so yeah, because they don't celebrate it, they kind of skip it in the stores, and so you don't get much in the way of cool Halloween gifts or decorations or anything, because kind of as soon as it hits, like, beginning of October, the Christmas trees are out. Whereas in, like, every other country, it's kind of like October is all about Halloween and it hits, like, November and then the Christmas trees are out. But they skip it here. And, like, I love Halloween and I love Christmas, so I get really, really excited when I see all the Christmas stuff, and I'm just like, Christmas, and get really excited. But I would love to see some Halloween stuff too, because, like, throughout the year, in, like, February, I get excited for my birthday in July. By the beginning of July, I'm already excited for Halloween, and by the beginning of October, I'm excited for Christmas. So I'm kind of dumb, because I get excited before the previously excited event happens, so I stop caring as much, which is probably why I cancel so many parties. But like, I get so excited and so into things. And so, Australia, keep up with me. You gotta help me. You gotta help me find some cool Halloween stuff. Because at the moment, I'm ordering everything from Prague online. And hey, it's free shipping. So, can't complain too much. But, like, you have to order everything from outside the country. It kind of takes a bit of time to get here. Anyway, I feel like I've ranted, so I'm sorry. But yeah, happy Friday the 13th, and may the black cats and ladders be with you.